really want to be a bridge between people that are hurting and lost
and Jesus, and that's really what we're about. Thank you so much. I'm Helen. I think I've actually said hello to everybody. Children, I live with everyone to be included in his family. I really do. I think God makes us. Oh, that is wonderful. She had two small children and was really lucky to have a garden. But this garden, what if Kaylee had a friend to introduce? What difference would that make? Just have a think about that. Play. And Kaylee was just like, that is brilliant. Made them, and Luke and Lucy came along and they took the little ones out to the park just once a month. Wasn't a big thing. Made a huge difference. And then she had a family friend, Joe. And Joe listened to her on the phone at first. And then these people, they just keep, I'd like to meet more, find out. Long story short, Kaylee is in the church. She's actually, somebody's lonely in the church. She's the first one. She's the first one to mail them and to reach out to them. And it's just that story of transformation is just incredible. It really is. So, of Daphne. And so this, if you click again, it should play a film, maybe later. Okay. If you have a look on the next slide here. Yeah. There you go. That's it.
It didn't take this long to develop quite a good and close relationship. We used to go out for coffees, play dates. She would introduce me to different people. Volunteering isn't something you do on your own. I could see straight away that Daphne needed one. When they had their first child, they usually have the mum to support them. And I feel like Helen has come to play a role that I probably wouldn't have had anyone to play for me. Safe families help me feel like I did belong, and so I'm hopeful about the future, and I'm happy. Definitely happy, yeah.
That's great, and it's so good to see the different ways that Christians can help. And if you have a little look at the next slide that we've got, it's one where you've got different little red dots around your church. I think it's on the very next one. And basically, on this slide, you've got the church, and I've drawn it on there, with all of the families that we've either supported in the past or the families that are looking for support from local churches. And there are a lot of people and families that need to be shown love and acceptance. So many of them are isolated. And we can have the privilege of bringing the presence of God to these families. Now, I hope I've drawn across in the right place. But you kind of get the idea of the level of need of families. And that's just one area, but they're supporting families right across the city. There's over 300 at the moment. And it's a real privilege to bring the presence of God to these families, reaching out and showing like really small acts of love. So to show them, and most importantly, to show people that God sees them, yeah, and that they're valuable, that they are seen and heard and understood. And that's really, really our mission and our purpose. And if you have a look at the next slide here, you'll see that the great news here is Safe Families is actually right across the UK. And there are over 1,300 churches involved and nearly 20,000 children now benefiting. And this is what the church is doing. It's just amazing to know all of those people from the church, that they're all helping and supporting families and making them feel that they are not alone. It's worth celebrating. And I'd really love for Bridge Church to be part of that. I think it'd be really great. Now, have a look at the next one. There are 3 ways that you can get involved and that you can bring hope and belonging to families. You can pray. We believe in a God that can do immeasurably more than we either ask or imagine. And we really, really need our prayer partners. It's really important. So if you want to pray, you can get an email once a month that gives you the prayer updates, okay? Because we really need our prayer warriors for the families. You can give financially, and that's once a month, or you can volunteer. And the wonderful thing about volunteering is you give what you can. It might be an hour a month that you can spare, but you choose what you can give. And the only commitment you make is to meet myself or one of the team for a coffee. You do a DBS check, and we have an online training. But if you can give an hour to go for a coffee with a dad or a mum, or you could maybe help with something like gardening or DIY, or listening to someone on the phone, or taking someone to hospital, it's really flexible. That's the amazing thing, and it works brilliantly. And you have to be over 18, and it's open to anyone 18 to 88. You decide what God's called you to. Okay. Have a look at the next slide here. The hope is that we are seeing people's lives transformed every single week. People are offering hope and a chance for people to know God's love. Just like Jesus, we can accept people and love them for who they are. So if you want to be part of it, I've put some cards on your chairs, and you can just tick those and come and bring them to me, or come and have a chat to me afterwards. It would be really, really amazing for you to be part of it. And as I say, it is really, really flexible, so it fits in with different things that you can do. So finally, I just want to share one final story with you. I don't know if it will work. It is Nazul's story. Because one bit I didn't mention is hosting. So if anybody's interested in hosting, this is a story of hosting. Thank you very much for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
My name is Nazur, and I have a boy that's 3 years old. I came across their families in November 2020. At that time, I was very sick and in pain. I was not able to meet his needs at all at that time. And I needed time for myself to recover from that pain. The priority was meeting all his physical, emotional, and day-to-day needs. He was just 2 years old. My name is Istiker, and I'm host for Safe Families. I was told that Isaac's mom was in pain and she had back pain, so she couldn't really care for him properly at that time. So I just needed to host him a few days just so that she could get better. I just loved him being here. Just his behavior, seeing him engage in different toys, moving from one toy to the other, was just so amazing. And when he woke up in the morning, he was full of life. He was happy. I got to know more, and was able to encourage her and advise her because she was just going through a difficult time. And I'm really grateful to Safe Families who provided me a sister by giving a human and real life, support. It gave me strength to stand again from a broken back, physically healthy, out of depression. Now I'm more positive and more.
Amen. I think we can watch that one later. Oh, it's coming.
To meet my son's need, and I'm taking care of my son the way I want, and I got a family in the form of Jessica.